Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am just as shocked as you guys are that it's only been a week since my last upload, but welcome to the 2021 schedule. Before we get started with this week's video, I want to introduce you to a new staple on the channel, and no, it's not Evie in the background. It would be the monogrammed Viva Dann mirror. This is the perfect replacement for the old mirror that I used to use on the channel. The only downside is it does have a glossy back, so it picks up absolutely everything in the room, but ain't no shame in that. The room's sort of clean and tidy. Hey, now don't worry about the old mirror. We did donate that to Kanye West because apparently that's what he's into these days. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, this is the video where I'm going to deep dive into not just one, but two of the Made by Mitchell palettes that launched in 2020. These are both full-size palettes, and I obviously, of course, bought these with my own money. You'll have already seen these appear a little bit on my Instagram at the back end of 2020, but what are my true thoughts and feelings on these products? Firstly, I absolutely love these little pouches that both palettes come with. They are so thick and soft and durable. I could literally probably use this as like a little makeup bag as well for like traveling to all those places that we're allowed to travel to right now. Maybe one day. Both palettes do come with this gorgeous protective little pouch, but what do the palettes themselves look like? This is the Feet on the Ground palette. Now, this is the one that I actually bought first. Yes, I couldn't believe it either. I vibed with the greens the most out of the two palettes, and it's just gorgeous. You've got stunning shimmers and buttery mattes. We will definitely get into that when we do a little bit of a tutorial. And here is palette number 2, Head in the Clouds. Now, as you can see, completely different palette, completely different setup. This is definitely more sunsetty, sunrise vibes. You've got blues, you've got gorgeous yellows, you've got a little bit of purple and orange in there. It's like a stunning cloudy daydream palette. Feet on the Ground, on the other hand, is definitely a lot more earthy. Both palettes do come with a considerably sized mirror, meaning you've got everything that you need all in one place. We're going to take Feet on the Ground on this side, and we're going to take Head in the Clouds on this side and give you my full thoughts and rundown on what both palettes are like all at the same time in one gorgeous tutorial. I've just gone ahead and primed that eye with the P. Louise base in Rumour 01. Now for this eye, we're going to go with the Head in the Clouds palette. Like I said, this wasn't the palette that I bought first. This palette was actually gifted to me for my birthday from a family member, and let's be honest, they have amazing taste. I'm not going to create a colour story that complements both eyes. I'm just going to give you the review of this palette on this eye. I'm going to dive into this shade right down here first, Night Shift. Just going to pop that right on the outer corner. As you can see, you get a lot of pigment and a lot of colour payoff straight away with these eyeshadows. I like to use a tapping motion anyway, especially with the P. Louise base. I find it helps things last longer that way. As you can see, from a colour like that, I've got absolutely no fallout so far. That is one of the things I love from these palettes. They're pigmented. You get a little bit of kickback in the pans, but it's not super over the top pigmented where you end up with a ton of fallout underneath. To blend out Night Shift down here, I'm going to take Night Nympho right up here, which is this gorgeous, almost a pinky red, I want to say. And I'm going to blend that shade out, and that's going to be my crease colour. Now, like I said, I have had these palettes for a while now. Like, I got Feet on the Ground when the first launched. Ooh. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I've tried every colour in it, as you can tell by my reaction to that shade. This is a gorgeous, almost a vibrant raspberry shade. I am living for her, yes. So I'm just using a MAC 221 brush, and I'm just working that into the crease. Damn! That's a whole lot of pigment. We definitely need to blend that crease colour out because she's looking a little bit harsh and a little bit chunky right now. So I'm going to take a MAC 217 brush, and I am going to take the shade Lucid right up here. So we're going to try and get that kind of like that deep purple with that pop of like a raspberry colour edged out with a little bit of lilac. Oh yes, that is coming together. Oh, that's sexy. That is a sexy colour. I feel like it needs a little bit more of like a softer edge. So I'm going to take this shade right here, Dawn, on a super fluffy My Kit Kat brush and just graze the edges to give that soft, hazy effect. I have to say, when I sat down to film this, I was like, oh yeah, let's use that gorgeous pinky shade and let's see where it goes. I did not expect, I mean, I should have expected that level of pigment because I have used this palette before, but wow. Oof, nice and blended. I don't feel like I would be doing these palettes justice if I didn't do my tried and true. So I'm going to cut the lid and do a half cut crease, and then we're going to go in with this shade over the top in Golden Hour. Now this is It almost looks peachy on camera, but then when you look at it properly, it's got a lot of like a pink reflect. So I can't wait to get that on to complement that crease and really give us like Barbie vibes. I've just given myself a little bit of a messy cut crease with some more of that P. Louise base. And now I'm going to take that shade Golden Hour. And I'm just going to press that over the top. Again, no fallout from those colours, even a shimmer. Picks right up on the brush and just presses right over where I've cut that crease. That is gorgeous. I'm just going to take what's left on that first brush that I used and just wiggle at the edges just to blend things together. So I'm just keeping that nice and blended, and I feel like we need a little bit something through the front just to set off the top of the eye. I'm going to take as a Viva 224, which is a nice fluffy brush. I'm going to go back in with that lilac shade in Lucid, and we're just going to fluff that through the front. We're hoping to keep a lot more of that lilac. And we're just softly working it through the front there. I am living for this look. I've just popped a little bit of a white eye coal on the waterline, and I'm going to take this shade right here, Perps, and I have no idea what the second word says, but it's Perps. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to run that right underneath the lower lash line. Again, I'm going to take my MAC 217, and it's still got a little bit of this shade right here left on the brush. So I'm going to mix it in with Dawn down here. And what's left, we'll just blend out that underneath and give it a lovely, gorgeous pink effect. One final thing we need from this palette is definitely an inner corner highlight, so I'm going to take the white shade over here, Clouded, which I've used before and is absolutely stunning, and that is going to go on my inner corner and on my brow bone. Tell me that is not everything. Oh, yes! And right through here as well, and we're just going to pick up and look sensational. That is the look completed with the Head in the Clouds palette on this eye. Of course, we need a mascara and lashes. Let's get this eye done with the Feet on the Ground palette and see how that one works out. And I feel like I'm not going to do this palette justice if I don't focus on the greens and do something a little bit more filthy. The first colour I'm going to take is Greener down here. Now it's a really filthy, murky, like muddy green, and that's going to go right on my outer corner. So I'm just going to work that mossy green all over the outer corner. Now, if you know me at all, you know these kind of colours are not my vibe. I don't know what it is lately. I have been feeling that kind of murky, savage, kind of mouldy, dirty green. As you can see, there's plenty of pigment, and once again, absolutely zero fallout from these eyeshadows, which for the pigment that you get from them is almost unheard of at this point. I'm going to take this shade right here, Ground, and blend that out. Now, I feel like I gravitated towards this a little bit more because it's something I definitely didn't have already. And it also has neutrals. I've become a big fan of cool tone neutrals, especially towards the end of 2020. So I thought it was the perfect palette. I don't know about you, but it feels like a lifetime waiting for Mitchell to release his own brand. We know he's had the Be Perfect collaboration. He also did a collaboration with Beauty Bay, and they absolutely slayed. So the second I saw that he was announcing his own brand, I was like, yep, gotta have it. Sorry, having it. On a MAC 217, I'm going to blend that out with this shade right here, Chameleon. Do you know, like when you get those shades that are like a certain type of way in the pan and they have a certain type of look, and then you apply them and they're like a lot grungier. I feel like that's what this palette is. I want that edge to be super smoky like it is on this side. So again, I'm going to take my MAC Kit Cut brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here, Breaking. Ooh, that is definitely giving some cool tone vibes. I feel like I'm losing a lot of this on camera because of how neutral I've gone on that eye. But don't worry, I gotcha. I'm going to take my Viva 224 brush again. I'm going to go with this lovely mint shade right here. It's almost like a pastel green. And that shade is called Bittersweet. Focused on the neutrals, going to add the greens, and we can really give it a different kind of vibe to what we did on the other side and show you how versatile these palettes truly can be. Okay, so once again, I'm going to cut that crease just so both styles match, and then we're going to fill in with a lot of delicious green gorgeousness. We're going to go into this shade right here, which is Grass, and that's going to fill in that half cut crease and give it this really mossy green effect. Oh yes, green. I'm sorry, but the metallics in these palettes absolutely snap. I mean, that is stunning. Love the monochrome vibe that we've got going on this eye, but I just want to deepen that outer corner a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, which is Amor with 4 M's, very on brand. I'm just going to add it a little bit to that outer corner. Just taking that on the original Bull Metals 305 brush. I'm just going to deepen it ever so slightly. To give it that kind of pop effect. Yes, perfect. As you can see from these palettes, I have zero trouble with blending, zero trouble with pigmentation. I have absolutely no fallout on the skin. So I literally don't have anything to complain about right now. Just for at least a little bit of symmetry, I popped a white coal on this eye too, and now I'm going to take a pencil brush. I'm going to take that colour Ammo again and just run it right underneath that lash line. My aim is to get this as close to the lash line as possible so we can blend it out. And we use the MAC 217, which has got some of those neutral shades on it. We're going to mix it with this weird mustardy, kind of greeny, kind of pukey, kind of... It's an odd shade, but it's called Chemtrail. So I'm just going to run that right underneath that Ammo. Oh my god, yes, that is exactly what I wanted. Definitely not picking it up on camera the way it does in real life, but it's give it this like yellowy tinge. Basically, it looks like my eyes before I put concealer on, but I'm living. Of course, we need a little inner corner moment and a brow highlight, so I'm going to go in with this shade right up here, which is Bless You. Oh damn. She's like the slightly golden, greeny sister to this beaming goddess on this side. That is stunning. Okay, so there we have both eyes completed, showcasing the versatility in the different colour stories of both palettes. I'm going to pop on some mascara and some lashes, and I'll be right back to wrap up with my final thoughts. Okay, lashes are on. This one is absolutely stunning. She is giving me issues, but it's literally just for the outro of this video. These are the Be Perfect Jack Jossa lashes in style Queen, and I'm absolutely living for the way they look. I've popped a little bit of a nude lip on. I wanted to go super neutral just so that eyes can speak for themselves. I've gone for one of the Be Perfect Supreme Velvets in Bougie and one of their double glazed glosses with Jack Jossa in shade Baby Girl. So what did I think of these two Made by Mitchell palettes? Well, in case you can't tell, I absolutely adore these palettes. The pigmentation, the blendability, the fact that I get zero fallout, which is pretty much unheard of palettes that are super pigmented. I vibe with this one so much, but I also equally vibe with this one. I love them both. If you have to choose one, choose the colour story that suits you best. They are definitely worth the money and the price point, but what did we expect from Mitchell? We knew he was going to slay, and the Made by Mitchell brand was going to be one that we all absolutely loved. I can't wait to see what's next. I definitely want to try the blush. I even want to try the brushes. Like, I am so hyped for this brand, and it is an immediate love affair for me. The only drawback that I would say about launch day, I understand that it was launched during 2020. There was a bit of a delay with one of my palettes. It took about 2 weeks to arrive. Other than that, absolutely amazing. I even contacted the teams to see how far along my palette was, and they got back to me straight away. So even if there's a little bit of a delay, everything's done the right way and people do definitely get back to you. Thank you so much to everybody that has made it this far. Leave a comment down below if this style of review is something that you definitely want to see a little bit more, and I'll make sure to bring more to you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the family because we have a lot more coming in 2021. I'm just going to chill over here and admire my creations and my gorgeous dewy skin and glossy lips. There's a couple of videos over here, why don't you check one out for yourself? See you in the next one.